All right, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into a lesson concerning the mark of the beast and how this system is being set up throughout the earth. This is not a regional thing, something that just happening on her side of the earth. You know, this devil is actually trying to implement this new world order. And you kind of see it unfolding in pockets within different regions. And this right here is another fig sign, you know, another budding of the flower, so to speak, concerning this prophecy. So this is from the peoplevoice.tv, and it reads, Australia rolls out digital ID system with plans for carbon tracking and social credit scores. This is New World Order, man. That's coming, that's here. It's really here. It's just only certain laws and legislation just have to be implemented. But all the pieces are here for it to take place. Now, as you can see, it's concerning Australia, dealing with the digital ID, the social credit scores. You know, China got that. You have, you know, a lot of these countries that's dealing with these CBDCs. You know, they're more of a digital society now. You have Sweden, where I believe then 90% of the population of Sweden got that thing, man. So, you know, everything is here, but everything is right on schedule according to the words of Yahweh Shema. Let's read a little bit into this. It said the Australian government is making significant strides toward the digital surveillance. Towards total digital surveillance and control with the digital ID bill, which combines 128 personal documents and indicators into a centralized government system. So, you know, and this how they're going to present it as a convenient as well. You got all these documents in one. You ain't got to worry about losing your wallet. You don't have to worry about fraud. Everything's going to be in that, you know. See, these are all signs to that CHIP being implemented. It says this system is designed to streamline identification across various sectors, such as banking and credit, that buy and sell. It says and potentially extend to carbon usage, tracking, and social credit scores in the future. And that's pretty much, you know, all we're gonna read, because it's really captivity, man. It's digital shackles. As a matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Revelation. Matter of fact, before I get that, because I mentioned those digital shackles, and that's what he's trying to do once again, bring forth a heavy captivity. Is that, I think his name on. Might be why. Con, this is Nahum 1 and 9. It says, "What do ye imagine against the Lord?" And that's what this devil is doing, by the way of coming up with these different schemes and plots, these different devices, you know, to get the birthright. And what that entails is him pretty much trying to get rid of Israel, destroying Israel, separating us from our power, as well as, you know, trying to implement this new world order, man. That's what he's talking about in these different meetings. That's him imagining against the Lord, trying to come against these different prophecies. It says he will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. See, show you that was in this devil's plan. You know, that oppression, that slavery, but it was going to be in a digital form, to where you can't You ain't gonna be able to do a side job. You get a couple dollars here without this nigga knowing. And that's just scratching the surface of things that, that's being presented. But overall, it's captivity. Because with that credit score, you're going to be restricted if it's not up to par, man. Like that movie, I believe it was Demolition Man. It was to the point he couldn't crank up his car because his credit score was too damn low. This is where we at in this process. So let's get this in the book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, and reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So to show you how important, this word is going to lead to us being kept. Yahweh is going to keep us in that hour of temptation, which is coming upon that, man. To where it's going to be mandatory to have that mark, which is the microchip. That's the mark of the beast, man. That C hip, that's the mark. So it's going to be a point where it's going to be mandatory for you to come and go. That jab was a prelude to it. It was certain restrictions. If you didn't have a jab, and that mask, it was certain requirements for you to do in this system, to come and go within this system. It was some loopholes here and there was some, and that's why those mom and pop shops end up closing. There was some loopholes here and there, but once that C-hip come, that's the system, man. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing without it. So it says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? So this hour of temptation is going to be upon all the world. So as we just read this article, this is going on in Australia. Read that again. Australia rolls out digital ID system with plans for carbon tracking and social credit score. This is the New World Order. But it's now, as you can see, it's being set up in Australia now. So this hour of temptation should come upon all the world. This whole system, this is a global thing that's being set up. So you're going to, see different articles. Jamaica got a CBDC going. The North Korea, Russia, China, concerning this digital system being set up, man. That's why you have these terms such as 15-minute cities. This all part of the system. That's really them putting you in a box. Everything gonna be pretty much at arm's reach. So where you ain't gotta go out here. You ain't gotta go out. It's 15 minutes away. So that's this devil putting you in a box as well. That's all going back to that oppression, that captivity he's trying to set up. So matter of fact, I'm gonna end off on this concerning the three holy children, because this once again is happening, on the earth. So I'm just gonna jump around on this. So Daniel 3 and 3, it said, then the princes, the governors, the captains, and the judges and treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So you see, pretty much everybody was on board with it. Everybody within the Pacific government. But you seeing that today with all these nations being in the same mind concerning this digital system. That's that new image being set up. It says, Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages. See? So that's once again going to take place. It's going to be on these different news channels, your article, your news apps. It's going to be a public announcement that is commanded for you to receive that thing, man. It's not like you're going to wake up one day and you got a few dollars in your pocket, get you some coffee in the morning. You got to get the idea, No, it's going to be made known that this transition is finna happen. It says that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. So the requirements is back then you had to bow when you hear the music. The requirement now, you bowing by the way of you receiving that mark. Them actually implant that chip within you, man. And for those that don't, he said you're going to be burned. And it talks about that in Revelation 13, how those that don't worship shall be killed. Well, going back to the C-19 and that whole fiasco, that was a prelude of people being killed by the way of them being excommunicated from the system. You couldn't do certain things without that requirement of that jab, like you having a mask on. So how much more when the C-hip, where everything is going to come and go through that, you ain't going to be able to be in the system, man. And of course it's going to get to the point these devils are going to literally kill you, but that's going to be an aspect of it, being X'd out from the system. You got to go off the grid. And that's what one of those sayings, he fell from the face of the earth, meaning he went off the grid. So that's going to take place, as well, because that C-hip is going to be the comings and going within this system. So matter of fact, let me jump down. And this is why it was written aforetime, wherefore I'm learning. Because we can read this and get hope from it, because reading the latter end, standing still for the word, for the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, they was kept. So let's get it. Daniel 3:16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king of Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. And that's what it is. That's breaking the first commandment. That's like committing adultery, that spiritual fornication. That's like this devil putting his seed in you, man. You bound and receiving that mark, because you can see the boldness and the faith, concerning standing still, whether they live or die. They made their stance known that they're not gonna bow. And the Lord put that spirit on his elect in his lifetime. Talks about how he has set 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to Baal. That spirit, this spirit, the Lord set up in this lifetime for this moment that we come into. But at the end of the day, as we can read on down, these men were delivered, man. And we once again coming into that scenario where these things are going to be laid on the table. Take that seed up or die. And that's why we just hope the Lord keep us from the troublesome time. So yeah, I just hope they were edifying, like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the millstone. Shalom to the elect. They teaching the word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.